Alright, so let's talk about this. So we took we had a 96% trade that we took profits. Did really good on it. Took most of the profits out of that. I actually built on another trade, scaling in. And last time we were talking about, okay, we were like right here. I said, what's going to happen? Like whether we're gonna go down like we did, or whether we're gonna go up is basically how this candlestick closes. So if we close low, like around 68,000, you can go back, watch the video. 68, 67 is what I said. We're gonna go lower, and then obviously we had this dump, and then I said I don't think it's gonna go down too low, but I drew this is a Fibonacci extension of 0.65 level Fibonacci. This is 6.7, and then this is 6.5. So this is a golden pocket right here on the Fibonacci. And I told you guys that is most likely going to retrace to around here to right here. And the reason it went down this far is because almost to this exact level, and we're still in this downtrend, so we're probably going to hit that level, is because the stock market was down a little bit. So I think that's what gave a lot of weight to this move. It looks like we're reversing, but there's been so many signs of a reversal. Like you have this massive wick right here, didn't happen, and we're in this giant downtrend. There needs to be a lot more data than just this little bullish candle. So I think we're going to consolidate, probably head lower to this target that I set up yesterday. And so what I'm doing is I'm scaling out a position. Like I said, a trade, because last time made a quick $500 in like 2 days. Like, it just depends on who you are, what that means to you, but for me that's not bad. So I bought in a little bit right here, a little bit right here, because those were Fibonacci levels. Like I said, it went down a little bit more than I was expecting because the stock market was down today. And I'm going to be trying to cost base average in right here and right here again and do a leverage trade. I'm on 12x, so my liquidation level is 60k. Not too much more to talk about in the charts right now. Everything looks good. Yeah, that should do it. I'm excited, and like I said before, I don't think the price is going to go lower than 60k. 60k, if it did go to 60k, it essentially put in this giant double top idea. It would make a lower low on a relatively decent time frame. And when we were tracking this breakout, it's hard to see on this one. It just depends on how you draw the falling wedge. I have it on a different one, but if you line this up, the lowest we went was 60 before we had the massive breakout. I really don't see us going lower than 60. So that's where I'm at right now. So that's where my liquidation level is. You're supposed to have a stop loss, but I have a 100% track record, 100% success rate, 0% loss rate or whatever. Like I said, 2 or 3 videos ago, I'm a very confident trader. I was down like $160, $120, down 16% on a trade that I was scaling into. Turned around and flipped it, didn't take the loss, flipped it into 90 something percent return. So, which we talked about last video. Telling you this video, I cashed that out, built another trade on top of that trade, and like I said, I'm scaling into it a little bit more, but 12x leverage. So right now it's only a $500 position on 12x, so that's about what is that? That's about $5,000, $6,000 trade. and I'm potentially hoping to scale it out to, at these levels, I have a 25x leveraged long at like $600, so I'll add another 15k into the trade. And this one right here, that level, I think I have another like 25 or 15x at about 300. So that's 30, or no, that's 3. So that's 1400 right there. So potentially like 20k. I'm throwing in about 20k if it hits those targets that I'm looking at. And then I don't know, I'm not betting that it's going to hit the golden pocket right here. I'm not betting that it's going to hit the golden pocket and stop. It definitely could go down more. But like I said, my stop loss, or my liquidation levels all the way down here. So I would think, even though this is trending downwards, that it wouldn't go down because there's so much buying pressure at 60. The market's super bullish. This is really just the only thing that I see as a real issue is the stock market going down, because we did have a bearish engulfing candlestick on the daily. So there's some concern there. But let's see, SPX. So it depends on how you draw this, but essentially what you have right here is a trading channel, and essentially we just hit the top of the trading channel. And I was talking to my buddy in the stock market, because I'm like, hey, listen, obviously I'm in crypto, and my market's down a little bit today because of your market. So what's going on with the stock market? Talk to him about it. And the stock market's been up, rallying for the last 8 days. It looks like it's really just cooling off. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. So yeah, the Bollinger Bands were a little overextended on the 4-hour right here. So that kind of makes sense that we would just break back down into the Bollinger Bands. Probably the same story on the daily. No, but on the 4-hour, so it makes sense. It doesn't look that bad. We haven't even tested anything yet. Like a little room for like caution on the fact that when you do go to the daily, this is obviously a bearish candlestick. So that would mean that most likely, in technical analysis, what we would see is we would start to see a bullish, or we would start to see a bearish continuation. We just saw this bearish candlestick on the daily because today was red. So we would expect tomorrow to also be red. Now, what I always say on the channel, that divides the people that are good at trading versus the people that actually make a lot of money, is you can't just look at the technical analysis. You also have to understand the market. And this market, a lot of times, like you can see right here, or like we can literally just go back to any time. Like right here's a perfect, this candlestick's fully bullish, bearish, as I was bearish engulfing. We had our green day. This is a pretty big bearish engulfing candlestick right here. We had a green day. I don't know if there's too many other good examples. This is almost a bearish engulfing, had a green day. This one's definitely bearish engulfing, had a really big green day. So do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, this is on the daily chart, a bearish engulfing candlestick. That's a big deal. But you also have to understand the market that you're trading in. The stock market usually recovers. Is it going to recover tomorrow? Probably. If it doesn't, you know why. There's a bearish engulfing candlestick. What does that mean for my trade and my crypto strategy moving forward? It means that I'm approaching it with a little bit of caution. We didn't just set a new all-time high today, which means I'm not stepping into this trade 100% carefree, knowing that no matter what, it's going to go up. there's the potential that there could low chance of some turmoil. That's how I see the stock market right now. That's how I'm viewing it, because of what happened. And you got to ask yourself, okay, well, and I didn't ask myself. I referred to an expert. I'm a cryptocurrency expert. Want to have one of the best track records in the space. Well, my buddy's huge in the stock market, so instead of consulting myself, which I do stocks, but everybody does stocks, everybody does real estate, everybody does crypto. There's a difference between doing them and being an expert. And so I consulted an expert. I consulted a stock market expert. I said, what's going on in the markets? He said, listen, it's fine, just a cool off. So I'm not too concerned. But when you're looking at the infrastructure bill just got passed, and I said, hey, you know about the infrastructure bill, and we were talking about it, and he said, yeah, I don't really. There's a lot to it, but I don't think it's going to affect the stock market. And then I brought up, the concern that I've had, that a lot of really smart guys are talking about, the Fed tapering. Said, well, what do you think about the Fed tapering? He said, oh, that's probably not till summer of 2022. So, and he's like, well, they're going to slowly start tapering. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm not concerned with the stock market because I consulted an expert. I looked at the chart. I looked at everything. I just have a little bit of concern because anything could happen. But, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm saying worst case scenario, stock market goes down. There's probably like 70% chance the stock market goes up tomorrow and we make money in crypto for sure. Maybe an 80% chance. If I had to give you a number, if you're like, tell me a number, and then that 60 is the level that I'm looking at. So there's like an 80% chance that the stock market even goes down low enough to potentially push it to that 60 level. So I'm pretty confident in my trade. I'm definitely not as confident in my trade, I'll be honest with you, as I was with the 96 percent that I just made on that leverage trade, where we bought in at like 59,000 around there and rode it all the way up to 68,000. That is it's almost a 10k move. But this is probably going to be my last leverage trade of the bull run. The thing is, I've been leverage trading Bitcoin since like probably not even like I have screenshots of me leverage trading at probably around $11,000 when Bitcoin was $11,000. I was buying before then, but I was leverage trading when Bitcoin was like $11,000. Those were some of my first trades. And so I've done over $1 million on leveraged positions. Like I said, I just exited a 12k position. Right now I only have about 5,000 or 7,000 in the market on leverage, and I'm looking to put in 20, a small 20k position. And so yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now with the position. I told my trading group to get Cardano. It did really well today. High was $2.38. To be honest with you, I just put some money in Chainlink. It was down today. Fundamentals look pretty bullish. Looks like a double bottom potentially, cup and handle potentially, and it's been sleeping. And it's a really good project. There's no really decentralized oracles that are touching it right now in the space. It's got competition, but the competition doesn't really stack up. It's a nice blue chip that hasn't really been performing, so I definitely see potential with Chainlink. And on my end, the way that I saw this was not really this golden opportunity to make a lot of money, but I saw this as a way to go all in again on crypto, because I'm bullish. And I literally, the first time I ever sold a Bitcoin, like I told you, I was buying in at like 9k, This cycle, the first time I ever sold Bitcoin was at 60 something, 64 something. So it was like a 700% return. I actually reinvested most of that money that I took out into Cardano, just made 15% on it. Couldn't even keep it out of the crypto market. And I think that, like I said, I think this trade that I'm doing right now is probably going to be my last leverage trade on the bull run. And then I'm probably going to take heavy profits on the Cardano that I invested in, probably around 280. And I'm going to be taking heavy profits on Chainlink, because that money was supposed to come out of the crypto market. Like, I was trying to take profits, but it doesn't really make sense to take profits at this point. I'm looking more to take profits around the 70 to 80k level. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing in crypto right now. Just leverage trading Bitcoin. No, I don't recommend getting into NFTs right now. No, I don't recommend getting into the crypto gaming space right now. No, I don't recommend getting into the metaverse. Why? Because there's already been so much positive news about those aspects that have already pumped dramatically. The price action shows it. And there's only so much more time in this bull run. At least for me, being a very experienced crypto trader, it doesn't make sense to just like sell my Bitcoin or do whatever to switch lanes and potentially do NFTs or whatever. There's just too much risk, and there's just not enough time left in the space to really get the right buyer, do the research, put up the risk. I mean, you can do it, but I don't know. I like leverage trading Bitcoin. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. It's worked out really good for me. It's worked out even better for Carl the Moon. Guy's got 500,000 subs or something on YouTube. Does the same things. Makes like 80k a trade. Crypto works even better for him. They kind of switch off between who's doing better. He has a $10 million Bitcoin position open right now. So, if I'm kind of following in these guys' footsteps, maybe I'm doing something right. And like I said before, the Moon Boys, they're probably the best thing. There's a lot of really good things about this Bitcoin pump that I was excited about, but the fact that everybody hated on people that talked about crypto and stuff, and then we ended up coming out like heavy on top, and the community that won was the Moon Boys. I'm not a big fan of this whole meme coin thing, although I have made money off of it. I'm not a big fan of it, just like all the other experts. It's hard to really, it was hard enough appraising a coin that doesn't really have value in and of itself, besides trying to appraise the value that it has in the place of its ecosystem within its token, like Cardano or whatever. Trying to appraise one Cardano token and its ecosystem value, like that was already hard enough. And then now we have to appraise the value of Elon Musk's tweet and how much ROI that's gonna yield based off of what he tweeted. That's crazy. So yeah, it just makes the space a lot more challenging. So not a huge fan of that, but yeah, the OG Moon Boys definitely just made a fortune this cycle, and super ecstatic to see that happen. Probably one of the best things about, yeah, I don't know, educating people on finances and people understanding that the banks don't actually own any money and stuff, and like the whole Illuminati and Freemasons and the Knights Templar and bunch of cool stuff like that, and people kind of waking up and realizing things is cool. but then also the whole Moon Boys being right thing and everybody making fun of kind of the nerds, and now we're all like driving Lamborghinis and stuff if we want to. I don't. They're both very cool. So, anyways, that's where I'm gonna end the stream tonight. Bitcoin going to 74, 70 to 86 level, still in the cards. And like I said, I closed my position out. The funding rate's expensive. Don't think that you gotta keep your trades open. I know a lot of the big guys in the space are doing that. It doesn't make sense for me to do it. I would rather just close one position and then open it at a strategic time, because then I just locked in $500 worth of gains. So on a leverage trade, on a small trade, I was up like 90 something percent. So I'd probably be up like 40% or something if I left it open, because Bitcoin went down. So anyways, have a good night, guys.